It's Tommyknockers time, guys. So I'm going to be going into why this is a good novel and why it's definitely one of Stephen King's best novels, even though most people consider it one of his worst. I think that impression is based on the schlocky but campy miniseries adaptation that was done in the early 90s. Most people hate that miniseries. I think it's fantastic because I like schlocky crap. But the novel itself is actually very well written. It's very interesting. And I'm just going to go into a little bit as to why I like it and why I think it's worth the read. So, plot-wise, it's basically the story of a writer in Maine named Bobby Anderson who discovers this thing in the woods around her house. She slowly starts excavating it to find out it's like this huge structure, which, spoilers, turns out to be a starship. And the thing starts giving her massive intelligence as well as freaky powers, as well as everybody else in the town. It slowly starts taking control of not only Bobby and the residents of the town she lives in. It starts giving them telepathic abilities as well as other things. Bobby's friend is a writer and a poet named Jim Gardner. He senses something wrong with her, comes to the town, and he's not affected by this thing because of his metal plate in his head from a childhood injury. So that's the main plot of it. There's a lot more to it, including chapters that go into the town's history, and you find out that residents of the town have always known about this thing and have had interaction with it, and have, kind of discovered its freaky power. The writing in the novel is very good. I think it's some of King's best. And like all of King's novels, it's longer. I think he does his best writing when he's really stretching himself out and writing really thick, massive stories with several subplots that follow different characters and the way they interact or not interact with each other. He devotes a lot of time to describing what's going on in these characters' lives, as well as just writing about small town life in general, which I think is one of his stronger abilities as a writer, is characters as well as writing about towns. He's very good at that. Just reading it shows that. So, it's definitely good. It's definitely good. My favorite character is Jim, and he seems to be King's favorite character. He devotes a lot of time talking about him and talking about his life and his relationship with Bobby. There's a lot of backstory given as to his relationship with Bobby. They dated in college. They were on and off again lovers, even in adulthood. They both have literary careers, Bobby being a novelist and him being a poet that took off at the same time. It's revealed early on, and talking about Jim, that he still thinks about her. He wrote a poem dedicated to her about her childhood. And there's just a lot of realism given to all of the characters, but especially to Jim. You feel like this is a real guy, and you care about him. And it makes it even sadder when he starts seeing this thing, this power, that this extraterrestrial thing is drawing to her, attracting Bobby to it, and draining her. Because all the time it's giving her these things, it's slowly sucking her life force, as well as the life force out of everybody else in the town. And it's deeply sad. You feel his pain. You feel what he's going through, dealing with that, and it's a very human story. And I don't know. It's just very good. I mean, there's some weird shit in it too. Like there's weird campy stuff that that works within the framework of it also being a very good dramatic story. Tonal-wise, it's very consistent. It's definitely a good science fiction horror novel. And you feel the creeping sense of dread throughout. King knows how to craft these ever more pressing feelings of dread as a writer. As the story goes on, you feel a little more and more creeped out by what's going on, and things getting a little more darker. So, for people who say this is one of his worst, read it again. And I encourage anybody who hasn't read it to definitely check it out. It's just, with a writer like King, he's so prolific that I think a lot of his stuff gets overlooked, or even kind of just is underrated. People tend to think of as more popular or bigger stories like the Dark Tower series, or It, or The Stand, or The Shining. But the Tommyknockers is one of those really just overlooked novels by him that's so good. I feel like some of his best novels are the ones overlooked. I mean, Christine, the novel, is so much better than the movie. And novels like Joyland, Lacey's Story, Dolores Claiborne, those are all very good novels. And I definitely think some of his best writing is the ones that don't really get as much attention. So anyways, that's just my opinion, and I definitely recommend you guys to read the Tommyknockers. Such a good book. And that's it. I don't know what I'll be talking about next, but I'll try to have a video out soon. Sorry, I took a little time off. My day job has been busy, and I've been busy doing stuff, so that's why I've been off for a while. But I'll try to start posting more frequently again. So, anyways, see you guys later. Bye.